Right, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a video on a little walk, and I might end up doing more of these. We're doing, I say we because the wife is here. How's this diesel? I'll be talking about diesel a little bit later on, but the walk today is just a little 10k on Longdale Trail, which is not Hollywood, it's not sexy, it's not anything really. It's probably one of the easiest 10k walks you can do, but it's a nice little one to get outdoors, isn't it? And the dog can't do more than, 10k or so anyway, so it's a nice little walk for him to go and get out, go and have a sniff and piss all over stuff. And I just thought, this channel's called Howson in Real Life. I'm not going up Penny Farm every single week, but I do this very, very, very often. So here we are. Now there's probably a few things that are worth talking about while we're doing this one. One is, there was a severe weather warning about 36 hours ago for the whole of this week. Flood warnings, and was it a month's worth of rain in a day. And as you can see, it's a complete and utter washout. It's relentless. And I'm sure you can barely hear me think or speak for how heavy the rain is right here. I mean, it's quite frankly monsoon season, as you can tell. So maybe the weather don't always get it right.
They never get it right. Never. It's never been right. When they're short of news, they just go, so let's create, the aurora they love at the minute. Now we've had one aurora.
Do you know what? I went through my entire life without anyone mentioning the aurora borealis in England. And we've had two in like 3 months that you can see. I knew you could see it in Scotland. But like the fact that you can see it in Manchester, like a couple of times, that's kind of mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
I want to go Sweden or Finland though.
Anywhere with a pod for him to watch it.
Right, I've booked myself on, I don't even know what the name of the course is. Basically, snow holes is what I think the course is called.
You booked that?
Yeah, I booked it, yeah. That's the 2nd, I saw it. So, 21st and 22nd of December. I'm gambling because that's a Saturday and Sunday, and there's a good chance Paddock are going to have a game. But there's also a good chance I'll either be banned or the game will be off with it being December. But I saw it, and I was like, nah, do you know what? I fancy a bit of that. And I thought it'd be a good thing to do a video on. So the course is basically a little bit of the winter survival stuff that I did last time, but taking it a stage further by sleeping out and digging your own snow hole. I don't know anything about how to do that, but we're going to be taught how to do that, and then we're going to sleep in our snow holes for the night. That's pretty cool, right?
No.
Right, and here's the difference. I've sent Janine probably dozens of courses. The dog's pulling my arm here like mad. Go for it. I can't let him off the lead because he's an arsehole. There's probably dozens of courses that I've sent Janine in recent weeks where we go, I'd like to do this. There's a mountain climb in Himalayas, 5,500 metre mountain climb. Obviously the same range as Everest, but a bit lower. There's all of these little activities that I wouldn't mind trying out. And all Janine goes is there any warm ones? No, not really. The only warm ones are like desert survival stuff, isn't it? There's not really any others.
England in the summer.
Oh, right, okay, but when it's October, how do I give you England in the summer?
Just don't send them to me. If it's got snow, it's a no.
Don't even think the snow's dramatic though.
Yeah, but I don't want to get out in it. I've only just got over Penny Fan with the rain and the winds.
So brought the dog out. I usually get the dog out 2-3 times a week. Quite often with Blake, I'm just going to do a couple little mile somewhere nice and local. But the dog's going to be having an operation next week, and he's an intact male dog, which means he's got his balls there, and obviously he's 15, so he's quite old. And we are just entering the house, or just leaving the house, can't remember what we were doing. The dog's jumping all over the corner of the sofa. I just noticed his nuts were just hanging real low, and I was like, that's weird. Quite used to seeing his balls. Not used to seeing them like bouncing off his ankles. 1,
10 times the size.
Yeah, so one's hanging down and it's a little bit big. And I was like, wow, have you seen this? So Janine has a look. And she goes, yeah, that doesn't look right. So we go, right, we'll have a call in the vets tomorrow. But there's a problem with calling in the vets tomorrow, isn't there? Because the dog is an arsehole. And he don't play well with others. So the last time I took him, he had a chipped tooth last time I took him. And dogs have those 2-3 root teeth, staffies especially. And his tooth had split, spun round, and was kind of pointing out the other way. So he was doing this weird grinding thing. So I had to take him to go and get that removed. And it was split and it was clean. Like his teeth was really healthy. And it was just this bit that I'd sheared off. So we had to get it out. And to get it out, I had to fucking wrestle him. And I mean wrestle him. And I was doing my best jiu-jitsu and catch wrestling that I could do, trying to pin this little bastard down on the table. And he bit me quite a few times, including one on the thigh, which proper hurt. And the vet didn't help at the time. It was a right pain in the ass. But anyway, we got it done, and that was a long time ago. And the only time he's been outside of that, which was before that, was when he had his glands done. If you don't know what that is, I'm not gonna tell you. It's not nice. Anytime that you take him to the vets, he's, like I said, he's not been a lot, but anytime that you take him to the vets, he kind of starfishes himself on the floor. Very anxious, very nervous, doesn't like it, doesn't play well with any of the other dogs that are in there. But he's always been in absolute bulletproof health. Like I say, he's 15. He's an old dog, as you can see. Well, I went to the vets on my own, and I was like, listen, here's a situation with the dog. Can we come in and have a see? Told him what was going on. Is it worth having a look? And he says, yeah, let's have a look. So we brought him down, and we met him outside on the road so he could do an examination amongst the traffic, because that's kind of what we have to do when your dog's a knob. And the vet says, yeah, there's a very strong chance that that's testicular cancer. Safest thing for us to do is to take them off, and we'll send them off for tests. And he said there's a couple of types of cancer that you can get in dogs. One spreads and could be elsewhere in the body, and one could just be localised. So what we're hoping is it's nice and localised, and that it's dealt with just by taking his nuts off next week. So that's what we're hoping happens. So next Wednesday he'll be going in, probably the day this comes out actually. So let's hope he gets through it and he's happy days.
Proper dense.
Why am I getting abused?
Coming up to Diesel's favourite pond now, where he last winter he just decided to jump straight into it with algae covered, so he just thought it was grass, went in, realised it was like -0, and then just wouldn't come back, so he got stuck over that side of the water there. He just would not return to us. Stephen had to end up going round and try and get him back, but he just wasn't having any of it. Diesel! Jeez! Come on, you going in? You going in? Used to always say to Jaden when we'd walk along this path that this is where we'd come if there was a zombie apocalypse. She'd got running water right next to it. There's hardly any people on the route.
Do you know what? Right, we're going to do a podcast, probably film it next week. One of the topics is apocalypse, I think. Get your comments in. Where would you go with the apocalypse? I'd come out here. I'm not living anywhere like where we live, too urban, too many people. You want to be away from people. But that's I'm not saying any more than that. But you want to be away from people. Let me know your zombie apocalypse tips, and we'll do I think we can do a whole pod on apocalypse.
Oh, I do. I was going to get into, though, with the running water along all of this route. As a kid, this probably explains a lot. I used to drink from running water sources all the time. And sometimes I just go on these nature channels, and they're all there saying, like we've spoken about it a few times, haven't we, about using water filters and everything to make sure your water's clean and things like that. But when you're a kid, you just did not care about things like that, did you? I'd just regularly just go.
I think in some places, like if you're on a rocky mountain, I think if you're on a rocky mountain somewhere like that, you're gonna have running water where you're getting like a little bit of froth in it because it's not froth, but like you can see how high up on a mountain just after rain, the water's disturbed, it's free flowing because you don't want it sat and stagnant. And obviously if it's really, really high up on a mountain and it's all rocky, the chance of a dead sheep lying in it's pretty slim. Stagnant water, dead animals, and run off from anywhere they can be chemical. That's what go for. Otherwise, Jesus, we didn't get to 2024 by people fucking boiling and filtering water constantly. People drank out of rivers.
That's what I often think, like, we've gone a bit too overcautious, but it never did me harm when I was a kid. I was never falling.
I mean, people did die. And people die from cholera and shit like that in places where the water isn't clean, but yeah.
Maybe I was just good at choosing my water there.
I think in a place where it rains all the fucking time and it's quite rocky, the chances of the water having things in it is lower than some places, I think. And it's never muddy, is it?
No, not at all. It's always running, crystal clear. So, yeah, I feel like I'd be good in a zombie apocalypse.
For water? Right, I'm not going anymore. I'm not getting more than that. But should we do a pod? Should we do a pod on that? I think we could easily do a pod.
Yeah, but that just turned to you talking about guns for the whole thing.
Go through a block.
Right,
they're a tool. They're a tool, right? It's not everything. Listen, you might have guns, but without ruining the podcast, what are you eating?
Berries. I survived on those also in the malls.
2,000 fucking calories worth of berries.
Yeah, ate them a lot.
I'm going to actually have to Google for our pod how much 2,000 calories worth of berries is a fucking day.
That'd definitely give you
a day. It'd be a pyramid's worth.
Berries. Sustenance.
It's officially winter now, isn't it? Or at least on the way.
Yeah. I filled my blood up actually. So I'm gonna get earache.
I feel it at training last week. My hands after training doing not quite moving right. It was alright last night though.
We're just shit.
You're welcome, thank you.
It's very Mancunian, isn't it? Like I could go to the Oasis concert in this and I'd be right in.
Yeah.
They don't really like.
So we got offered hospitality tickets for Wembley about yesterday.
Can't do hospitality yet. It's this thing.
You can if it's the only way you get in. Wembley. Saturday night.
No.
Well, yeah, so that's Janine's answer. I'm thinking, alright, I want to go American next year. But like proper.
I want a new tent.
Yeah, I really want a new tent. But you want a really, really big tent. I'm going the opposite way. I'm looking at like, do you know what I'm going to do? I don't know if I've said this on video yet, but I'm going to do an ultralight one. So you know ultralight?
Ultralight?
No, it's not. Yes, I have. In terms of like the army style live bivvy, that's ultralight. I think that actually is literally lighter than what the ultralight ones are because of how they work. It's weird. It's a weird crossover, and I think it's because of the materials. You see the material that ultralight stuff is. It's almost see-through. You've seen it all. Like the backpacks are see-through. There's a lot of mesh going on. The tents, they almost look like fly nets, don't they? They don't look like there's any. They're certainly not waxed canvas. By the way, I saw a waxed canvas DPM sort of tarp. 4 ton haul. Not got it. It was nice. It was so nice.
You should probably do a video at Nemo because holes on the Nemo tent is so much better than the family tent.
Oh,
family tent.
I like the meat.
Last few times we've broke a pole.
Yeah.
That's why I want a new one. I might go for the inflated instead.
Yeah. Yeah, for a family tent, I get that. We're going bigger. But so back on the ultralight thing, I'm surprised there's never been a sort of military and ultralight crossover because to me that's the right market for it. blokes are carrying 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds on the back. If you could ultralight it, but then is the ultralight stuff as hard wearing? Because military stuff's got to be hard wearing.
Isn't that one Tigers though? Like, don't they do all that heavy duty, lightweight?
Sort of, and some of it, yeah. But yeah, so the ultralight sort of ethos, if you like, is all of your stuff to do a camping trip under £10. Weight, not quids.
What's that? Like, bag size for me is a bit stupid.
What do you mean in bag size?
You're doing your bags based on your litres, don't you?
Yeah, it's not about litres though, is it? So £10, realistically, is a very small, maybe even a small.
I'm not bad at that life.
So for starters, I think you can only do it in summer. So as we get into winter, I'm not really thinking anything ultralight because you're just going to be ultra cold. So I think ultralight is a summer activity, but I wouldn't mind trying it just for the challenge of, can I get a full dinghy in? It's that doesn't include your food and water. So you've got £10 for your kit and equipment plus your food and water. So you're probably going to be like £15, £20 once you're all in. But that's a really easy weight to carry, isn't it? So I'm going to try it. But I'm surprised that someone's not tried to mesh those two worlds together. Maybe it's because the ultralight materials are not hard wearing enough and durable enough. Because like I said, some of it does look, I don't know how to describe it. It literally just looks like see-through plastic, doesn't it? There's a bit bin baggy in it. So I'm going to have a go at that. But yeah, Jane's gone the other way at the moment with the family tent. It was like a six-person. Yeah. It was a six-person thing you said, wasn't it?
6-person, more lights, more room, more awnings. Yeah, just more stuff that can hang any sub-bulbs on it.
I struggle with this. I struggle with this is the biggest thing for me to wrap my head around. Because I'm still thinking, like, when I piss off out into the woods, I'm thinking tactical. I'm thinking I've got to have red lights. I can't have light discipline. Like, I've got to do that sort of stuff. But then I see so many people like, here's the fairy lights that you need for camping. What?
And then you need your really good porch or awning where your fire pit goes under. So you're like outside, inside with your fire pit, with all your cosy lights, and that's where you spend your evening.
We have a cupboard that we put in our tent. Do you know how mental that sounds to me when I'm used to digging holes? It's an adjustment period. I also need to finish the car and get the tent box one on the car. So I wouldn't mind doing like 50 nights under canvas at least next year as a target. That'd be a nice sort of goal to tick off, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but you don't have the time for that, so.
I'm going to have to do midweek ones. But do you want a good thing? Do you know the midweek ones are good though? Because Blake's into it.
She's not going out ultralight.
No, she can't. No, we'd have to do she's going to have to join me on the car ones, isn't she?
She's power bar.
Yeah, she's like, my iPad died.
Yeah.
iPads aren't light discipline, Blake.
Yeah. When can we have the marshmallows?
Yeah.
Where's my skewer?
All right, we're done. Back in the car. Dog's back in the car. He's a wet dog, obviously. But that's us done. Little walk there today. Happy?
Yeah.
Happy. My head's sweating. So much for a bleeding down ball. Right. Let us know where you want to come walk with us next. I'll probably do Mam Tour, I reckon. Yeah.
Plug holes.
Plug holes. What's the other one with the big dam?
Derwin.
Can we not do that?
They're both near each other. We'll do them on the same day.
Alright, okay. Well, we're doing that. So subscribe on that, and I think the podcast will probably be out in a week. So stay tuned for that, and let us know your zombie apocalypse tips and questions. One, where you going, give us your tips, and then what questions have you got? Because I reckon that's going to be a fun episode. See you in a bit.